Michael in Valrico, Florida. See more better with freeprescriptionlenses.com. But call me Mo Better, because I'm going to have you seeing Mo Better, looking Mo Better, and show everyone else how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. When I cut the Zeiss Light D PhotoFusion Blue with DuraVision Silver anti-glare coating 4. This is a first for me. You have mailed me your frames. Well, in fact, this is the 28th pair of glasses you've gotten from me, and you have sent me 28 frames. Never once have you bought a frame for me, but that's okay. I know you're a Tom Ford man. You love those. We'll get to those in a little bit, but this is the first time I have ever laid my hands on a pair of Vetro handmade in Los Angeles. This is a beautiful, beautiful frame. You guys go out there, anyone who has never heard of them, which I had never heard of them before, go to Vetro.com or Google that. Look at their frames, beautiful frames. This is the Arthur in a red. Great styling. Again, these things are handmade in Los Angeles. This is model Arthur. 5121 is the eye size. Got their logos on there. Really nice frame. I hope you don't mind me telling everyone this is a $295 frame. Now, I don't sell these, but Vetro does. Anyone else with a pair of Vetros, do what Michael did. Mail them to me and I can cut lenses for you. Now, I joke around a lot, but this is the 28th pair of glasses, of lenses you have gotten from me. And I just want to take a moment to say thank you. Thank you 28 times. So let me begin. So here's a good teaching moment. Anyone who needs progressive lenses and you have your own frames, use a marker such as a Sharpie. Look in the mirror, have someone do it for you. Put a dot in front of your pupil, and that tells me where to place the height of the invisible bifocal. I'm going to pop out the original demo lenses, put your frame into the tracing element of my blocker, double check myself, measure one more time, cut once. Measure twice, cut once. Okay, we're good. I'm going to program this shape into the computer, so years from now, should you ever need new lenses for this frame, but you don't, because after 28 pair of glasses, you are an eyeglass junkie, and you just want an excuse to go out and buy a new frame. And I'm okay with that too, but for everyone else out there, if you ever want to reuse lenses in your own frames, I can do that. You are going to be Secret Agent 2294, so years from now, if you want to turn these into sunglasses, I can mail the lenses directly to your homes. And here's another special moment. His daughter is now a licensed optician, and she can mount the lenses for you. I'm going to hit the start button. A little stylus is going to pop up and go around and trace the inside bevel of the right side of the frame before doing the same thing on the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy any genuine, authentic frame of the brands that I sell, and you'll receive one free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipts have my federal ID tax number, so when you submit that to your insurance company, you will get your out-of-network reimbursement, or if you have health savings account flex dollars, you will get the full reimbursement from that. Now that's the shape of the lens I'll be cutting. We're going to move on to the next screen. That is, if it would ever pop up and only magnify, that is the shape of the lens we'll be cutting. That is the right lens. You're looking at it like that, but over the left lens, that looks the same. So, now you have the Zeiss Light D PhotoFusion Blue with DuraVision Silver anti-glare. All of that is written on the lens, and we'll get to that in a moment, but I'm going to take out your right lens from Zeiss. I've got some engravings on there that tells me where it's supposed to go. We're going to lay that out there. First, I need to enter your pupillary distance for your right eye, 33. The computer starts at 32.5, so I only have to tap the plus button one time. It goes up in 0.5 millimeter increments. Now, I am going to have to press it several times to get the height of the invisible bifocal up to 31. You can see that number climbing in 0.5 millimeter increments. 31, we're going to change the layout screen from single vision to progressive. Now this is a block, as I like to call it, Jenny from the block. I need to attach this to your lens while it is cutting, so I need two double-sided adhesive stickers, of which I've got them here. Oop, oop, oop. I'm not as magnetic as I thought I was. We're going to stick that onto the first block. Do the same thing now for the second one. Flip that over. Put that on there. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. Now on the back, that silver button is a magnet. It's going to do its job twice. The first time it's going to attach itself to another magnet there in the arm. Place that there. Get everything lined up just perfectly. That blue cross is the geometric center of your frame. Your eye is just above that and inset just a hair. Get everything laid out perfectly. And with your astigmatism, I'm going real slow. Hit that button, the arm's going to come down, place the block onto the right lens. We're going to do the same thing now for the lens that ain't right, which will be played by the left lens tonight. And pupillary distance is going to be 32. The computer is at 33. It has mirrored the right side, so we're going to go back to tap the minus button twice, get down to 32. Same optical center height, seg height, position of wear height. Take the lens, lay it out where it should be, where it's supposed to be. Going real slow with the layout so nothing is tilted at all, because with your astigmatism, with anyone's astigmatism, I like to hit the center of the bullseye, but with your astigmatism there is no margin of error, and I want those two dots exactly where they're supposed to be on that graph. Now, the nice thing about Zeiss that I have switched to, it gives me all this documentation. Zeiss progressive, I know you can't see this because of the small print, but Zeiss Light D 18 as an 18 and a 14, which is the short corridor. Your daughter will explain that to you. 18 is a normal corridor. 1.59, which is the refractive index for polycarbonate. PhotoFusion Blue. The other nice thing it does is that it gives you the power of the lens in plus and minus cylinder. There it is. So this is the right lens. To highlight that, -2, -475 at 4. Bifocal strength over here, and this is marked the right. We're going to do the same thing for the left lens, which is +1/4, -5 at 170. +1/4, -5 at 170, your bifocal strength. Now, if you guys missed any of that, let me recap. I know, I laugh at that joke more than anyone else, but it's my right. Now, the other nice thing Zeiss does, these are digital freeform progressive lenses. So it gives me the power. Let's go ahead and highlight that too. -2, -475 at 4, +1/4, -5 at 170. Prescriptions can be written in plus cylinders where there is no plus sign. It was just assumed that the minus does have a sign, and the axis is changed by 90 degrees, but it gives you all this documentation. So if you ever go to the doctor and they ask what you're wearing, show them this piece of paper. Digital freeform lens and auto lensometers and other things based on the position can be read differently. This gives you all the documentation, gives you the laser engravings. Every progressive lens has laser engravings nasally, which tells you the brand, and I underline that. That tells me the power, which is a +250. That gives all the documentation right here. I love how the compensated powers, the near compensated, the distance compensated. I love all the documentation that Zeiss provides. They provide it to me. I'm providing it to you. And that's all I have to say about that. So, put that back. Now, this is the edger. This is what's going to do all the work while I run my mouth. This traces and blocks. This does the cutting. Let me hit the refresh button, bring up the shape that I'll be cutting now. I just cut your Tom Fords. I'll show you those in just a moment. But this is ID number 2294. 2294. These are polycarbonate lenses. If they were plastic, high index plastic, or Trivex, I would select that, but we're going to stay with polycarbonate. I'm not going to polish the edge of the lens because it's not going to be seen. I'm not going to put a safety bevel on the front convex of this lens, and I apologize. A lot of this is repeat material, and after 28 pairs of lenses, and I'm sure your daughter tutoring you on this, a safety bevel is when you smooth out any rough edges on the front of the lens, which I'm not going to do because it's not going to protrude from the frame, but I am going to do it on the rear concave surface of the lens, and for various reasons. I do that because when I press the lens into the frame, I do not want any rough edges to come into contact with the surface front of the frame if it doesn't fit in there perfectly. So I'm going to press that on there firmly. The magnet is now going to do its job a second time. It's going to attach itself to another magnet there in the chuck. Or by now, you know I like to call it the Charles, because I just don't know this machine well enough to call it Chuck. I was going to say, if you're tired of that joke, write a better joke on a $100 bill and mail it to me, and I'll read your joke on the air. You don't even have to include your name. I will recognize your handwriting and give you credit for that joke. Hit the start button. Well, the cutting wheel is this diamond crusted wheel that's going to grind away your lens material to the final size. This wheel in the center is going to put the V-shaped bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. This is the polishing wheel, which I will not be using on this one because I'm not going to be polishing your lenses. How's that? Hit the green start button. The dirty door closes. Again, if I knew I was having company come over, I would have cleaned that. But so it's going to go up. The lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, making sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame. Measuring the thickness of the lens at every point on the second go around to know where to place the bevel for the least amount of edge thickness showing, of which will be minimal, if any, with your prescription, even with nearly 5 diopters of astigmatism correction on your right eye and a verified 5 diopters on the left. The light you see flickering in the background is water there to catch the optical sawdust. Should this lens ever come down and touch the cutting wheel, water does not spray on your lenses for polycarbonate lenses. If these were plastic, high-index plastic, or Trivex, they would. Now, water will spray onto your lens, but only for the last 20 seconds to wash away any optical debris that you may see beginning to form on the edge of the lenses. But as I mentioned, your lenses are made out of polycarbonate, which is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They're virtually unbreakable. They're high-impact ballistics-grade lens materials. The same lens material that our soldiers wear overseas in combat zones to protect their eyes from shrapnel and from flying debris. It also has 100% UVA and UVB protection. In fact, Zeiss has the most UV protection of any lens. The average is from 350 to 380 nanometers. Zeiss blocks UV all the way up to 400 nanometers of wavelengths. That's why Zeiss has partnered with the American Cancer Society, because they offer more UV protection than any other lens manufacturer out there. And speaking of protection, the photochromic lenses from Zeiss offer 30 to 40% protection from blue light. Of course, the anti-glare coating does even more than that. I mean, in addition to there. And so you get protection from the sun, you get UV protection, you get blue light protection, you get it all. Plus, you're going to look pretty damn cool, if you don't mind me saying so, my damn self. Blue lenses in the red frame. So it's going around tracing again, just a little double check, a check and balance, just in case the lens was, well, for whatever reason, it's checking where to place the bevel again. So it's dropping down onto the bevel wheel. Your lens, if you notice real quick, are flat all the way around. Now it's getting the V-shaped bevel, a knife-like edge, if you will. A very dull knife like myself, but a knife-like edge nonetheless. Your lens is going to be so sharp that if you were to soak a tissue or Kleenex in a bucket of water overnight, your lens may be able to cut through that tissue if you press down with all your might. So water has begun spraying onto the lens, which reminds me, I need to take a bath. No, it's so it's telling me it's in the last 20 seconds to wash away any optical debris, also known as schwarf, as in may the schwarf be with you, but it won't because the water's washing it off. Out comes a lever. At the end of that lever is a spinning disc, something you would find at the end of the Dremel tool, and that is a very, very fine grit of sandpaper. And that's what's applying the safety bevel to the back, get out of here, the back concave surface of the lens. Again, because as I use this to press into the frame, I want the back of the lens to be smooth if it comes into contact with your frame. Plus, should any portion of your lens protrude from the back of the frame, come into contact with the cheek, I want that lens to be nice and smooth. So I'm going to dry everything off. Ooh, look, there's another piece of schwarf that didn't come off. So I like to very carefully and neatly remove that and then drop it on the floor. Only because my wife hates that. And I promised her I wouldn't do it anymore, but nobody tell her I just did that, okay? So, I mean, but who has time to walk over here and put it in the trash? I mean, honestly, look, there's a little piece right there that was gonna, no, that's something else, but I'll throw that away, see if that makes my wife happy. But let's see if your lens fits first time around. I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner with its smooth back surfaces. Now this isn't terribly rough, but again, that's not going to protrude from the frame. And with photochromic lenses, yep, this does not want to go in there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it down 1/10 of a millimeter. I got dripped on. Now it's not going to the cutting wheel, it's just going to go to the bevel wheel, and it's going to take 1/10 of a millimeter off, going all the way around the circumference of the lens until, now I could use heat to make the plastic more pliable where the lens would pop in there, but I like to do what's known as the cold mount. My wife will tell you that too. Wait, what were we talking about? No, so the cold mount means that the plastic is cold while I mount the lens in there. If I were to heat it up and put the lens in there that needed to be smaller, that would cause force going all the way around the frame, that eventually your frame would roll outwards down at the bottom, because these are the thickest points, these are the thinnest, and that would roll outwards, giving you an ugly cosmetic look as well as shortening the life of the frame. And so I won't do it. I'll take the time. In fact, speaking of time, here are your Tom Fords. These are the, I love this frame, by the way, the 5634. Great temple. You can tell they're Tom Ford because they have the Tom Ford on there. So, great thick temples. Of course, all Tom Fords are made in Italy. Here we go, here we go. I'm gonna open that door with my mind. You like that? I can do other things with my mind. I can melt ice with my mind. I just can't think of any new jokes. I can't do that with my mind. So, run my thumbnail around. Get a little bit more optical sawdust. Okay. I promised my wife to be a better husband. I didn't promise, I asked to be. Clean that up, toss that in the trash. So let's see. So my birthday was last month and my wife asked me what I wanted for my birthday. Guys, younger guys in relationships, learn from me. It took me 13 years of being married to finally say this. But I told her what I want for my birthday is to be a better husband. Ooh, that got her right here. She was not expecting that answer. So, and of course someone else has told me, but their wife would call BS on that. You know, should they ever say that? What is on the edge of your frame? Let's clean that off. There we go. So, tuck it in at the outside. Now it's down there. Come on now. Get off. I do not want any dust or entrapped inside between the lens and the frame. So we're going to tuck that in at the outside corner. Press down again. It's not going in, so let's take it down another 1/10 of a millimeter until it fits in there perfectly. With your astigmatism correction, that's not uncommon. So let's go ahead and expose your Tom Fords to a strong burst of ultraviolet light so I can show off your PhotoFusion brown lenses to go in your tortoise frame. Now, the right lens always takes a little bit longer. I start off large and work my way down. Once it pops in there easily, we'll flip it over and cut your left lens. And then it should go in first time around, but it's not uncommon to have to do it twice. So this is your Zeiss lens with the PhotoFusion brown in there. Can you see the brown color? That looks good, that looks good. Wait till you see the blue in the red frame. Now, Zeiss photochromic lenses, Zeiss invented the photochromic lens, and they sold the technology after their patent ran out to other companies like Essilor, which they branded it Transitions. Zeiss has they call theirs PhotoFusion. Is it on here? Come on, somewhere it's on here. On these it is, PhotoFusion Blue. Now these are the packets that you're going to receive for this one, PhotoFusion Brown, but it comes in gray, brown, blue, and green. And I talked to him about doing green in this pair since he didn't have that color, but we thought it may be a little too Christmassy, the red and the green. But the red and the blue, plus the blue is awesome. When you're outside, the blue sky, the green trees, it looks incredible. So we're going to tuck this in at the outside corner. And that's the reason I put the safety bevel on there, is that as I'm applying force, I do not want any sharp edges against your frame. I don't want any optical sawdust on there. Okay, here we go. To be a better husband. Now, you guys, this is going to make you guys throw up. I've been together with my wife for 14 years, and we have never had one argument, which is easy for me to say, hard for her to say, because I'm married to a saint. But there's still no reason to rest on my laurels, so I wanted to be a better husband, a better family member, a better everything. I flipped that over to L, placed the magnet into the Chuck, the Charles, the Chucky baby, or today it's being called the Michael 28. By the way, Michael did not pay for this video. With 28 lenses, you get an egg roll and a free video. So anyone else out there watching, you get 28 lenses from me, I'll make a free video for you too. But we're going to come down here, grab my de-blocking tool, de-block, take that off, dry that off, throw that back in there, add to my sense of accomplishment sticker collection. Come down here to the lensometer, place it in over that black dot, which will correspond, wrong lens, there it is, hiding back there. That black dot is now behind that black dot to know exactly where to place the height of that. Put that in there, spin the axis wheel to 004. This morning I got up at 7 o'clock and read the power. I am getting -2 in the red. The minuses are in the red. You are nearsighted in your right eye, farsighted in your left. You need 2 diopters of correction to see far away. With your glasses off, everything is much too large in your right eye, so the minus sign minifies down to the correct size. Now, once something is the correct size, we have to take away the fuzzy edges. You have 4.75 diopters of astigmatism correction, so you're on the 8th rung of a ladder, and now you're going to add another 23, is that right? Wait, 16, 19 steps. 8 and 19 is 141. Wait, I mathed wrong. Someone figured that out and posted in the comment section. How much is 8 plus 19? But so you need another 4 diopters, 4 3/4 diopters of astigmatism correction. You have one curve on your this eye, the -2, and you have even steeper curve this way. I know you can't tell how steep that is. It's this steep. Your astigmatism keeps changing. And it's how you line up those 2 curves to make everything nice and crisp, and we're lining that up at the 4th meridian. Let's go ahead and check your astigmatism correction. And I am getting 675, 1 tick mark away from 7, going away from 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 675, 7. That's because if someone had borrowed $2 from you, then they borrowed another $4.75, they would owe you $6.75. That's where we're at, 675 in the red. In the red, get it, get it? No, so your left eye, you need 1 step of magnification to see far away, but then you have 5 diopters of astigmatism correction. You have what's known as crazy stigs. That's a medical term. I'm not sure exactly what it means. No, it means you have a higher than average astigmatism correction. So, by the way, when you provide your own frames, my progressive lenses, Essilor or Zeiss, are $179.99 with, when you buy the frame from me, they're $25 less. It's $149.99. The PhotoFusion blue, gray, silver, or green, or Essilor transitions are $99.99. The DuraVision silver anti-glare coating is $79.99. It starts at DuraVision chrome that has it's like the Crizal Alizé or Avancé is $69.99. The silver, which has a bluish hue that actually is probably more like Avancé, is still $20 less than that. And of course, they also have the DuraVision Platinum, which is $99.99, which is comparable to Crizal Sapphire, but it has a bluish hue to it. I upgraded you to the DuraVision Silver at no extra charge for the 28th pair because I wanted, this has a greenish hue to it, your anti-glare coating, the Reflex it is called. This one has a bluish hue like Crizal Sapphire, but I thought blue on blue would look better than green on blue. Sorry, I made the executive decision to make you look as good as possible, which you don't need any help doing, Michael. The guy's a stud. At least that's what my wife says. I don't know, you know, should I believe her? By the way, how does she know? So, let's go ahead and tuck the lens in at the outside corner, press down at the nose. Look at that, snaps in first time around. Told you the right lens takes longer. And then once we get the right lens down, we flip it over, do the left. Dry that off, throw that bing there, add to my sticker collection, come down here. Oh, the little black dot is gone, so I need to grab my pen. Every invisible bifocal has 2 laser engravings. This is called a layout chart. I'm putting those 2 dots over the laser engravings. And that dot is the fitting cross. Now you want to see something cool, but wait, hang on. If you guys, again, let me recap. No, but we're going to come back down here. This piece of paper, that's what's great about Zeiss. Zeiss uses squares. That square at the nasal area says LD, the Zeiss Light D. 59 is the refractive index, 1.59 for polycarbonate. 18, all that is written underneath that black dot. Over here in the corner it says 250, which is your bifocal strength. That is out here on that side. The dot I just put on there was the fitting cross that's going to sit in front of your pupil. This is known as a layout chart. I've got the Verilux, which is a 4-drop from Essilor. Zeiss is a 6-drop, meaning that from the center down to the 180 meridian is 6 millimeters. So we're going to put it in, turn the axis wheel to 170, put it in, read the power over that black dot, and I have to turn that a lot. Again, the flashlight. See this all the way? I'm getting +1/4, 1 tick mark away from 0 in the blacks. Remember, we were just in the reds, and we're about to be there. +1/4, the smallest amount of magnification you can have in your left eye. Now, 5 full diopters. You're on the 20th rung of a ladder. First step for magnification, 20 more steps for astigmatism correction. And as I mentioned, uncorrected astigmatism makes 6s and 8s look alike of the letters P and F. So we're going to keep turning that knob, keep turning it until the reticle comes into view, and we're at -475 in the red, 1 tick mark away from 5. If you had a quarter and someone borrowed $5, you'd be 475 in the red. That's where we're at, 475 in the red. The other nice thing, anti-glare coating truly benefits you. Uncorrected astigmatism, driving at night, when you look at a light source, you will see these terrible halo effects, rings around a light, or spikes coming off in every direction. Literally, when you look at a light, it looks like that, coming off these spikes going out all over. And anti-glare coating greatly reduces that. So, pupillary distance for your right eye, 33, for the left, 32, for a total of 104. No, wait. 65. No, wait, 65. Do I get 55? Someone take me to 70. By the way, I forgot to write down red. But it doesn't matter. This is the temporary card. It's written down on your permanent card. That's why the temporary card has this paper clipped. This is a sticker. This will be stuck onto your permanent card that has your phone number, your email, your house address. Nobody gets to see that. It tells me what you like, what you dislike. Who knew that Michael doesn't like Brussels sprouts? But I have that written down on that color card is gray. Can you tell the difference, kids? Kids, you see what I'm doing there? Temporary for videos, permanent card for your collection. So, that's how I can tell the difference. And now that's how you can too. But so 65, 33 and 32 is 65. Let me finish what's known as final inspection. I do have to work. Put the PD stick against my thumb there, and we hold it up to the left lens. We're getting 65 millimeters. The height of the progressive is 31 millimeters, not to the bottom of the lens, but to the middle of the frame at the bottom. So, when we measure there, to the middle of the plastic, we're getting 31. Do it over here, 31. Man, the kit is good. So, this is the portion in every video that as I clean your lenses, I mentioned that this purchase is tax-free and includes free shipping anywhere in the U.S. And Valrico, Florida is in the U.S. Now, I've also started to mention that every purchase is tax-free because a lot of people on the internet now have to charge tax. I don't. I'm in North Carolina. North Carolina considers eyeglasses a medical device whether you buy them in-state or I'm shipping out of state. So, all purchases are tax-free for me. This normal purchase, again, the progressive when you don't buy the frame for me is $179.99. The PhotoFusion photochromic transitions add-on is $99.99, and the DuraVision silver, actually I only charge you $69.99. Anyone else buying this, $79.99. I'll give you $10 off on your 28th pair and a free video. But if you were to purchase these from someone else, get my calculator out. We're going to do some math, kids. Let's do some ciphering. The total price is $359.97 times 7.5. which is the sales tax in North Carolina. You would pay an additional $26.99.7, so let's round up to $27. That's $27 less that you get to keep in your pocket, especially since this is just after Christmas and your credit card bills are coming in. But of course, I mention in every video that I send out a selfie request. Michael has never done that. Should you get the whim, send me two, one with them clear, one with them dark outside, showing the blue and the red in Florida. That would look awesome. I was just in Florida visiting my brother from the 20th to the 23rd in the Tampa area. I never saw a sunrise or sunset. However, it was 75 degrees and cloudy, and I will take 75 and cloudy over a cold 46, which was the high on Friday here. I had to scrape my windshield to drive to the airport to get to Florida. It is a good day to go to Florida when you have to scrape your windshield. But I also send out instructions not only how to care for your frame and lenses so they'll last you for years, but the premium microfiber cloth that I provide, your Tom Ford one, and the Zeiss cleaning cloth that you're going to get, as well as your case, so it too will last you for years. Whether you buy the frames from me or not, I'm going to tell you how to take care of your frames and cases. Now I'm going to get these in standard alignment, also known as a 3-point stance. But what I wanted to say is, when you get these in the mail, there's a small chance that these could be too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That's because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other, and I'm no different. I'll show you in just a moment. But because of that statistic, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments, including your daughter, Michael. So just stop by your local optical shop or invite your daughter over for dinner, and just tell them if it's too loose or too tight, if they need to be adjusted. But the 3-point stance is 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set it on the counter and press down. There is a wobble, so let's go ahead, and I hope she hasn't pre-adjusted these for you. Let's get this in standard alignment. And I'm just applying force at the metal hinge. That is good. When I say wobble, I'm part of that 80%. When I take mine off and press down on the counter, they wobble, but they sit level on me. I'm wearing the Oakley 8149 pitch carbon R, because it has a carbon fiber temples and a silver area, which matches my wisdom highlights above my ears, that silver that I've got coming in. Because I'm wearing the Zeiss progressives with the DuraVision Blue Protect on this one, which normally adds $99.99, but with the blue lenses as well, which I will now show you what they look like. Well, let's flip this finished standard alignment. Press down, no wobble. Close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly, and they do. By the way, I field test every cleaning cloth before I ship to make sure that it works. If you see wrinkles in your cleaning cloth, it has been inspected and improved by Seymour Beta. Now, once these are clean, which I believe they are, I'm going to go ahead and activate them. You saw me turn these brown. Let's see what the Zeiss photochromic PhotoFusion blue looks like. So as you can see, it takes about 30 to 45 seconds for photochromic transition lenses to darken, a little bit longer when you come back inside, a minute to a minute 15. Now this is important, everyone pay attention. All photochromic transition lenses will get dark on day 1 and continue to darken every day for the first couple weeks they're exposed to the sun. After that, they will work for years of maximum performance. The only time they won't work is if you're behind the windshield of a car. Your windshield has UV protection to prevent your dashboard from cracking from sitting in the sun all day, and that's why they won't turn dark in a car. Now if you have if you have a convertible or a motorcycle, they will darken. Now they're also temperature sensitive, meaning they will get darker when it's 85 degrees and below than they will when it's 95 and above. But I remind everyone, when it's 100 degrees outside, you're miserable, they're miserable. Nobody works 100% when it's 100 degrees. We all work better once it cools off some. But as I keep yapping my mouth, these are going to keep turning back to clear, as I mentioned, about a minute to a minute 15. And again, don't worry, these will get darker. Come on, Michael, we talked about this. Don't you remember? Stay with me. Stay with me, Michael. Oh, my wife just texted me. So, carbon copy. That's what she is of mine. That's what the CC stands for. Where was I? She throws me off with everything. So, if you've liked what you've seen, please like this video and subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon so you'll get future videos of. This is the first time a Vetro has been seen But if you want to see with the nice keyhole bridge, this frame I was expecting it handmade in California for $295. This is a bargain. I would love to contact this company and see what it would take to become a vendor, but these are some nice quality frames. And of course, you get free lenses, prescription lenses, when you buy the frames from me. But since I'm not a vendor, there is a slightly markup. Single vision is $49.99. Progressives, I only charge $25 more for that. But you can see these turning back to clear. But again, follow me on, subscribe to my channel, click the bell icon. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram as Free Prescription Lenses. On Twitter as Free RX Lenses. If you have any questions about what I can or can't do, go to the Contact Me page on this website. There's a phone number and an email. I will check on all that information and get back with you. You can also leave a question or comment in the comment section below. Michael, you can at least do that. If you won't send me a selfie, send me at least comment on how you enjoy the blue lenses now compared to every other lens that you've gotten from me, the Zeiss versus the Essilor. Can you tell a difference in the Zeiss lenses versus the Zeiss Light D versus the Essilor Ideal Advanced? I can't when I got these. They're comparable, and that's what I love. You get the same quality lens from a different manufacturer, but they provide the documentation, which I love. Document, document, document. So these are almost back to clear. So thanks for watching, Michael. Thank you so much for the purchase of the 28th pair of lenses, progressive lenses. All of them have had anti-glare. A few of them have had the photochromic transitions option. And now everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.